Welcome to the Bayou City Soccer Podcast. Whether inside or outside the loop, we are talking everything soccer in Houston. Y'all ready? Let's get it.
Welcome into a special episode of the Bayou City Soccer Podcast. We're pleased to be joined today by Duane Holmes of the Houston Dynamo. Duane, how's it going?
All good, thanks. How are you?
Doing good. Defender, midfielder. Don't know what to call you. You're a little bit of everything these days. I know Ben talked about after the game. Griffin gets traded midweek, and he has to come to you and basically says, "Duane, you're starting." What was that conversation with Ben like, and how did you kind of react to going back to a position? I know you played a little bit of wing back in England, right? But going back to a position maybe you haven't played a lot of.
Yeah, the position's not new. I mean, I've played there a fair amount in England, but it's obviously sad to lose Griffin, a good friend of mine. But um, that's football. It's a good chance for him. But yeah, it was nice that Ben put his trust in me, and hopefully I can repay that.
Yeah, I know. Talking to Ben after the game, he was a little scared when you picked up a yellow card early. He said maybe not the best of starts, but what's going through your mind early in that game when you get a yellow and then you're kind of just feeling yourself out and getting into that game there?
Yeah, it comes with experience of I've been on a yellow card many times, so you know. Um, but yeah, that's part of the game. You just got to manage yourself and not do anything reckless. I mean, it weren't a great tackle on my part, so it was probably a well-deserved yellow card. So I'll learn from that.
Yeah, it happens, like you said, especially defending. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
But most importantly for you guys, looking back at that Chicago game, you pick up the win. How did it feel, just you and your performance after the game, and then as a team for you guys to get the 3 points? I know Ben's talked about how important it is for you guys to win at home and getting that win at home.
Yeah, we talked about that all week, giving the fans something to go home happy about. We didn't do that enough last year. The first half we weren't really ourselves. We weren't defending on the front foot really how much we wanted to. Part of that is their shape. They made it tough, but part of that is us being brave, really step onto teams and put them under pressure. And I think the second half was completely different. We completely changed, I went higher, Eric came higher with me, and it really put them under pressure, and that's what we're looking to do, especially at home. We want to put teams under pressure and not make it easy for them.
Yeah, and we saw you now into the starting lineup, getting to play with guys like Jack and you mentioned Eric, the other defenders, but a lot of new look guys around. What's it like, learning a new position and also learning those new relationships with a lot of your new teammates?
Yeah, I mean, preseason was great. The guys that have come in are really top quality, and I think the biggest thing is that they're winners. They're experienced. They know how to manage games, and that's been a real positive for the group.
You guys just tell Guilherme to score just 2 or 3 goals every game and you'll be fine, right?
Yeah, Guy, that's what he loves to do: get on the ball, get at people, score goals. So our job's to feed him the ball and let him do the business.
Yeah, and just one more on that Chicago win for you guys. I know you talked about it a little bit, but big crowd there. We saw full house. It was loud. It was exciting in there. How important is that for you guys as players, feeding off that energy and having that shell energy?
It's huge, and we're trying to give the fans, like I said, we need to send them home happy more often. We didn't do that last year, and it was a good start last week and something to build on. But it was great, big crowd, the energy was great, and we responded to that. I think definitely second half, you could see us feeding off it, and that's what we need. That'll really help us push high up the table.
Yeah, now we look ahead this week, LAFC coming to town and all their star power. Big win for them over the weekend against Miami. You see a team like LAFC come in, you guys prepare differently for them, or is it, how do you look at a team like LAFC with all these stars and attacking threats that they have? How do you guys kind of manage that when you have them on the schedule?
It's exciting. It's exciting. You want to play in the big games. You want to play against the good players, and they're a good team, but we feel like we can beat them. So we're going to give it everything. We're going to get after them, and we're going to try and win.
Yeah, and they've got, Denny Bouanga, Youngman's son, they're big stars. One of them is probably going to be on your side. How does that change the way that you play and having to defend them? Is it differently, not getting too much into how Ben wants you guys to play, but how do you kind of look to slow those guys down?
For me personally, it's just another game. You play against good players every week, so you can't go into the game worrying about certain players, what they're going to. We've got a game plan. We'll stick to the game plan, and like I say, we're there to win. We're not there to marvel at other teams' players. We're there to win games, and that's what we're trying to do. We want to finish as high up the table, and it's a great chance to get 3 points.
Yeah, and we talk about these guys coming to MLS. You and Bond came from England, a lot of players coming from overseas. What's kind of the talk about MLS, when you talk to your friends that play still in England and over in Europe?
You know, for me personally, it's been a great experience so far. Last year I didn't play as much as I wanted to. I was obviously injured and things, but the league's fantastic. It's competitive, it's fast, it's fun. It's everything that football should be. And I spoke to my friends who were already out here, and they said, "Look, if you get the opportunity, you have to come and experience it." And I'm just really happy that we did.
Yeah, and I know talking a little bit about playing under Coach Ben Olsen, we've talked to a lot of guys that you guys press and you run, and Ben expects you guys to basically run for 90 minutes until you can't run anymore. But is that a little bit of an adjustment for you, or how's it been kind of learning this new system? I know you guys tactically are a little different even than you were last year, but just kind of learning this new system and the way Ben wants you guys to play.
It's very similar to a coach I had in England, so it's not something completely alien to me, but I just like the fact that he wants us to give everything. He says it if you can only do 70, you can only do 70. We've got guys on the bench that are going to come on and do the same. So, it's everyone pulling in the same direction, working hard for each other and to ultimately get to the end goal.
Yeah, you talked about that. You guys have a lot more depth, it seems, this season. A lot of good guys that don't even get into the starting lineup, but guys that can change games, coming off the bench. How big is that for you guys? Not only pushing you guys that are starters right now, but also having that ability to change games in the second half.
It's huge. I mean, I've noticed a huge difference in the training, especially, everyone the competition for places is great. I'm sure it gives Ben a headache, which is good. That's what we want. You want everyone to feel like they can be in the team. You want the managers to know that you lose one guy one week, you've got someone in who's ready to go, and that's a great recipe for a good season.
Yeah, a lot of excitement, I think, around this team. Bringing in Mati, bringing in Guilherme. You guys got some big new players. What excites you about this team the most as you guys get into this season?
I think, like you mentioned earlier, I think it's the depth. I think it's the depth, it's the excitement. We've got flair, we've got people that will jump in front of a train to stop the ball going in the goal. I think we've got a bit of everything, and that's great. Like I say, we're all pulling in the same direction, and we want a successful season. Last year wasn't good enough, and we're striving to be better.
Yeah, you guys didn't make the playoffs last year, obviously not where you wanted to be, but all the preseason talk comes out where you guys will finish, if you make the playoffs or not. But as players, what do you see the ceiling for this team is for this group?
I mean, we just shut out the outside noise. We can only focus on what happens in this building, how we train, how we play, how we work. Um, Sorry, what was the last part of the question? What are my expectations for this season?
Yeah, how good do you think this team can be? What are you guys' expectations, the ceiling for this team?
I mean, we're going to be in the postseason. That's a fact. And we'll go from there. We'll see how far we can go.
Yeah, once you get in, we've seen MLS. Once you get in the playoffs, anything can happen there. So before we wrap
I
up,
would, sorry to
yeah,
interrupt. I
go
would
go
say
ahead,
one thing.
Duane.
We want to finish as high as possible so that the teams have to come to us because no one wants to come here. We got the fans behind us. We got the horrible weather to everyone else. We're used to it. It's great. So we want to finish as high as we can to give ourselves the best opportunity for people to have to come here and beat us on our own pitch. And we're not going to make that easy.
Yeah, I know we've heard a lot about that from Pat all the way down. You guys want to be a top four seed. You guys want to play at home. We talked about it a little bit, but seeing Shell Energy like it was Saturday, the atmosphere and the people there, it changes things for you guys, right? Like it's one of those places where opposing teams don't want to come, especially like you said, when it's 98 degrees and the humidity's crazy.
100%. I mean, you go out there and to everyone else, it's hot. It's real hot. And we're embracing that every day. We train, work so hard in the heat, and we're used to it. And then obviously you add the energy of the fans, the heat, the way that we want to play, the way we want to press, we want to keep the ball. We want to make it really hard for people to come here, and that's was like I said, it was a great start last week, and we're looking to do that again this week.
Yeah, so I had to ask you, I saw on your Instagram, Eric, your team barista, he's still making you guys drinks this year. He told us last year, I think we talked to him last year about how great he was. He was getting 5-star reviews from everyone. What can you say about Eric the barista? We know the center back, but how is he with coffee?
Oh, it's actually incredible. Like incredible. It is one of his passions. He loves it. And anyone he'll go around, he'll make 10 a day and they're really, really good. So if you ever I think he goes into coffee shops, I believe, and does a couple hours behind there. So if he's ever doing it, please go and try one because they are top.
Yes, not only a leader, not only a center back, also top coffee man.
I think,
He
well, he's sort. If he weren't already sorted after football, he is definitely.
he's got
He needs his own shot because they're very, very, very good.
I'm sure he could set up a spot in Shell Energy Stadium or something and just we'll have to
100%.
we'll have to help it out. So he is Houston Dynamo's defender, Duane Holmes. Duane, before we let you go, just a message to the fans. I know we talked about how important they were for you guys, but big one this weekend with LAFC in town. A message to the fans out there.
Yeah, come on down, be loud, be proud, make it hard, and we're going to give you a good game.
Duane, we really appreciate the time. Best of luck this weekend, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you very much. See you later.